Hello everybody, welcome back to my studio. My name is Natifa and I am an artist, the owner of Juicy Christian Studio, and I am the resident magic keeper on these, or in these parts, I guess you could say. And I've been showing you guys how I store some of my craft supplies. And so today I'm going to show you guys how I store my clear stamps. To be honest with you all, I did not really think about this until one of you asked me about it. I just sort of put them in these little bins, these little like Sterlite drawers that I would just stuff them in there. But as we were, trying to store all of our items, I thought it'd be kind of a good idea to kind of store this too, because, it makes sense, right? If you see it, you're going to use it. And so I'm a firm believer in that. And so I wanted to tackle that, and I found a way to do it that I think is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to follow the same methods we've used with storing our transparencies, our baseboards, and whichever ones. What else did we have? Transparency and baseboards, I think, were the main ones. And so we're going to do it similarly. So you're going to need today a laminator. You're going to need some laminating sheets. You're going to need a transparency. These are 6mm ones. They're fairly thick. So I got these off Amazon and they are just 6mm. Hopefully you can see that. Let me darken this a little bit. You can see that. 6mm. I'll put a link in in the description box for this. And then you guys can purchase it. This one comes with 15 pieces and it's 12 by 12. So we're going to have to cut this down to 8.5 by 11 and whatnot. And then I have my clear stamps. I have a variety of clear stamps. I have some that are Tim Holtz that I got from like Joann's that kind of came in a pack with like some stencils. And then I have these other ones that I found on Amazon that were just really, really cool. So I'm going to store or catalog all of these today. Well, most of them. I probably won't finish the whole entire stack, but who knows? It's fairly easy, I think. So that's what we're going to do today. So if you're interested in doing that, stay tuned and we will get started in a minute. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut down, I'm going to cut down a couple of these. I'm just going to show you guys how to do this, and then if you want to spend the rest of your time doing this, you can. I'm going to cut down a couple of these 12 by 12s to 8.5 by 11. And then we'll kind of go from there. Let me move all of these other supplies. Let me turn my laminator on. I don't think you guys can hear it, but just in case, we will turn that on. And we're going to cut this down. So we want 8.5 by 11. 11. Okay, so now we have our two transparencies. I'm going to put some gloves on because I don't want shenanigans all on my stuff. And by shenanigans, I mean oils. Okay. Okay. So we're going to take our transparency that we cut out, 8.5 by 11. We're going to put this in here like this in our laminating pockets. And my laminator is the kind that I don't need a carrier for my transparency. I can just stick it in there. So then all we're going to do next is just take one of our images. So this is like the clear stamp backing that has all the images on it. And we're just going to stick it in here. Okay, just on top of your transparency. Now, when you're sticking this in here, make sure it's right side up so that you can read it. It's not like flipped like mirror. It's like the right side up. You're going to put it in here as well. But before that, we need to see where our where our holes are going to be. So I'm sorry, one second. Let me move this over some. Because we're going to be putting this into our binders, we need to see where our holes are going to be at. So I kind of want this to be kind of close to the edge on this side a bit. Let's see here, like that. Okay. And then we're going to put one of our other sheets on here just to kind of give us an indicator of where our holes are going to be punched. So that way we don't put our sheets, our stamp images there. So now we have that, and now we can put our stuff in here so that we know where it needs to go. So because these are small and square, I am not going to worry too much about cutting these down. I'm just going to stick them in here on top of this transparency on there. So I'm just going to go through and get these in here. Now, if you want to, cut these down, you can. I'm going to cut some of them down, not this one, but the larger ones, like the larger rectangle ones from like Joann's, I'm going to cut those down and whatnot. So these are super cute though. Okay, let's see. This one's kind of wonky. So we're going to put this in here like this. Kind of like that. Make sure it's not near your holes for punching. And our clear transparency paper is in there because it's going to make our laminated sheet a little bit sturdier. Oops, let's see here. I'm going to bring this down a little bit more just to have a little bit of room in between, which is kind of nice because it'll help your things to adhere a little bit. That's crooked. Now the perfectionist in me is coming out a bit. Okay, so now here's the bottom portion. So this is where I was running to the problems before when I was trying to stack these on a sheet. Is that we could do this down here, which actually fits. So I'm gonna actually just put the whole entire sheet in here. Okay, and so, or I might find another one. I might just do this one since it's already done. So I'm just gonna put the whole entire sheet in here. But if it didn't fit, I would cut these out and stick them in there individually because that way I would know that it would fit in there the way that I wanted it to. So I'll move this over a little bit more. All right, so here's what we have. I don't know if I can bring you guys down a little bit more. That's as far as I can go for today, but here's what it looks like together, if you guys can see that. So we have our clear transparency in here, and we just stacked all of the backing of our transparencies or of our stamps in here. So let me grab my laminator and you guys can watch it do its business. And hopefully we're pleasantly surprised. Okay, 1 second. So I have my laminator is hot and ready. So I'm going to again make sure my images are good to go. And I'm just going to stick it in here and just laminate the whole entire thing. Okay. So I have some debris in here, but it's fine. It's pretty cool. So we have this. That's what we got, y'all. See this? Okay. So then let's let that cool a little bit. So then what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to let this cool down a bit. It shouldn't take too long, but on the left-hand side here, we have the spot where we can punch our hole. And it's cool enough. Okay. So now this is essentially all you're going to do, you guys. It's really simple. I know it's really, really simple. So now all you need to do now is just on the back side of this, because this is plastic, your stamps are going to just stay. You just find the image that you had before and you just put your stamps down. And that is literally it. It is literally it. And the wonderful thing about this, hold on, let me find my, I move my things around my studio a lot. So let me get my paper, my hole puncher. Oh, here it is right here. And we'll punch this before we start going at this, because I want you guys to see just how cool this is, right? So we're going to punch our hole in here before we start putting this in here. So that way we can kind of see. So our hole's punched. So that's, remember, this is why we put that. We made the mark so we knew where to punch our hole at, okay? So we have that in there. And then on the back side, we're going to go through and just, oops, oh, this is one right here. We're going to stick this on here. There's that. But this is like the funnest thing for me, and because it's so, oh gosh, it's like, hold on a second here. Let's do that one. We have N7. My fingers are sticky, so let me take my gloves off now. My gloves are okay now to take off. Let's see, which other ones are we missing? Missing these two. And I think it goes this way. And I'm missing a whole bunch of numbers. Oh, I found some of them. I think they're in here. But this is the really nice thing about this technique, is that it allows you to keep your stuff in one place. You know what I mean? Because my stamps are always falling down, especially these little like bitty pieces here that are just forever lost somewhere else. Now they can just stay with the rest of everybody else and not just cause, havoc all over the doggone place because of that. So yeah, there's that one. Oops, this one might need to be washed a bit. Nine. And let me try to find the rest of these. But again, I have not used these things in such a long time because they've just been stored in my little bin. I don't see them very often. And so I always forget that I have them, honestly. And so, so for all the numbers that I do have, for this one, I think I'm missing number 5. And I can just get some water and clean this off. And it'll get sticky again. And there. And do the same for this one. Yeah, so for your clear stamps, you just need to get some water on the back of it. And it'll get sticky again for you. Because it's usually the debris, the dirt, dust, or whatever the case may be that's on there. So I am missing number 5. And I need to do my stars with some water. But now, look at this. So I've put them all on there and I just flip them over. And they're all on there. And if you want to like just secure them, you can. But they're not going to come off because it's plastic. And the plastic was whatever. So now, I'm not going to do the rest of these because you guys get the gist of it, right? And so all you need to do now is just grab your little binder that we've been kind of cataloging all of our stuff in. And you want to flip to, well, I guess I'll just do the top page, but so here's our transparencies. And now I can just add this into my binder and voila, our stamps are stored, which I can see through to the other side, which looks amazing, right? So, so now you just have like these in here and they are just whatever. Now, I think what I would probably do is just maybe put some parchment paper between the two of them or like some deli paper so that way it doesn't stick to the next one because it will stick to it because of that plastic. It'll stick to it. So just, you know, kind of keep that in mind. But you essentially just have all your stamps in a book. And you can kind of come through and be like, oh, I want to use this one. I want to use that one. I want to use this one. And you can just turn it over and peel it off. And then you can put it back when you're done because you can see it. So it'll be something like this. You just peel it off and you know exactly where it goes because it goes back right here because you can see it. Okay. And that's it, you guys. Okay. That's it. I wish it was more, extreme than that, but that's essentially it. Okay. Now I will say for the other kind, so like for this one, let me take this out again. For this one, I would say that what I would do, and maybe I'll show you guys that because what I would do for these, what happens for some of these is that these are really, really big. So because the entire back of this is pretty big, it's going to take up a lot of room. Like these smaller ones are easier because they fit, but these ones, unless if you do them like 1, 2, 3, that might actually work. So let's see if you do it this way, 1, 2, 3, that might work. Okay. What I'm going to tell you we need to do, you don't want to leave any space open. You need to fill this up. Because what's going to end up happening is that if you don't fill this up, you're going to have a flimsy, and because all the weight is going to be on the wherever these are. So this is why I'm saying, like, if you have spaces where you don't have like a full set to put there, you're going to have to cut these down and stack them to where they fit. Okay, because it's not going to work. I've tried it, and trust me, it gets really, really annoying. Kind of like this one. So I only did, when I was testing this out, I only did this side, one of these in here. And as you can see, this side is a little bit more sturdier. This side is not very sturdy. It bends all the way. So you need to put something on the other side so the entire sheet is weighted with your stamps. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. If not, let me know, ask me some questions and I'll try to explain it. But you want to make sure that the entire sheet of the entire transparency, the entire laminating sheet is filled with some sort of image, or else it's not going to be weighted evenly, and you're going to be really annoyed. Just trust me, I was very annoyed. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So hopefully that was easy peasy. If you guys have any more questions about how this works, just go ahead and let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. Okay. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.